Exclamation everybody, and welcome back to another channel update. This one for May 2015. I like to do these once a month just to give you guys an update on the channel, be a little bit more transparent about what's going on and things that I'm looking at, things that I want to potentially play in the future, possibly the status of other series going on and other things that I'm doing. The game in the background is LA Cops, so you can go check that out if the gameplay footage looks appealing to you. So since our last channel update back last month, we've gone from 33,177 channel views to 35,817 channel views. Everything's going well in that regards. Over 2,000 views, averaging about 2,000 views a month, which is very, very good indeed. And we went from 202 subs to 216 subs as of the time that I'm recording this. So that's also very good. To all the newbies, welcome. This is my channel. Thanks for checking it out. And for all those of you who have stuck by for all these years, thank you for sticking around. As I've mentioned before, July will be the 2-year anniversary of me doing YouTube stuff. So slowly coming up on that. I will possibly be doing something for that. I'm thinking of probably a montage of some sort where I go over some of my favorite moments and also the games that I've played over the last 2 years. I think every year it would be a good idea to just go back and revisit, in montage form, all the games that I've played and whatnot. It's just I didn't do it for the first year, so this one will be for 2 years then. But we'll see. It takes a lot of time to put those together, so hopefully the time works out for me and I can do it, because that would be really awesome. And we went from 755 videos on the channel to 820. So I'm still cranking out the videos quite frequently and quite at least 2 videos a day. We're doing pretty much every day, 2 videos a day, just about. This week you're going to have a couple days where there's 3 videos a day, because as I mentioned in Cube Ramblings a few weeks ago, I played through on a live stream. I played Westerado Double Barreled, and so I've put that in recorded form. I've got that all squared away and all rendered. It's going to be 6 episodes altogether for the entire game, and I figured I would just put them all up one day after the other, much like I do for some of the Telltale games. So that will be going up for the next 6 days. I think episode 2 will be going. Should be up by the time you watch this, and then episode 3 will be coming up soon today when you watch this, if I time my scheduling correctly here. So had a lot of fun with that game, and I did something a little bit different. Recorded it instead of using OBS to do all the recording and the streaming. I was able to get DxTory to behave a little bit and do the actual recording for me while I was streaming from it. So very cool indeed. It looks like it came out pretty well, I think. So very happy with it in general. And what else we got here? So following up from speaking of live streaming and stuff, if you ever want to see the live stream I did of Titan Souls, I have that up there. I have the VODs up there for that on Twitch, on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/memoryleakdeath. And also I don't have Westerado up there. I'm letting those expire because I'm going to put them on YouTube. But I am also in the process of streaming Kerbal Space Program. Started out last Friday, and I will continue for the foreseeable future in that. Had a lot of help from Toad and others in the chat, so trying to figure it out the hard way, which is basically frying as many Kerbals as possible in your attempt to get into orbit. But I have the VOD for that up on Twitch, and I will only be doing that as a live stream for the foreseeable future. I think that's think that works out well as a live streaming vehicle. So I'm going to continue to do that. So I won't be putting that on YouTube at all, as far as I know, unless there's something spectacular happens and I want to put like a small highlight or something. But other than that, it's going to be, if you want to watch my Kerbal Space Program playthrough, you're going to have to go on to Twitch. In addition, with live streaming, I have enabled the YouTube live streaming stuff. I haven't used it yet, but it seems like YouTube's trying to make some inroads as far as gaming is concerned. And we know this, based on some of the positions that they've been doing on things. And so YouTube now supports 60 frames per second in their live streams, and also high quality, high definition. You don't have to be, a Twitch partner or anything like that in order to do it. So much like you do on Twitch, you can just do it from the very beginning, which is one of the reasons why I like Hitbox as well. And I've been looking at it off and on, is because I don't have to be a partner there just to have high def streaming, and the delay is a lot less. I don't know what the delay is on YouTube, but I know on Hitbox you can actually set the delay pretty low. It was like 3 seconds or something like that. It was pretty awesome for the little tests that I did there. So I'm just looking to try to. I know Twitch is the most popular, but it's also like I'm very frustrated by the fact that like no matter what I do, my live streams will just look like complete ass, no matter what you do, because it's just Twitch. And I'm looking at different things, alternatives, to see if I can maybe make that viewing experience a lot better. And I may do some live streaming on YouTube. I have to test it out first and see, but I may do that. For the foreseeable future, like I said, on Fridays I will continue to do streaming on Twitch. However, I might, as the time comes along, I may do some streaming on other days, like Saturday or Sunday maybe, and I might do that from YouTube, just to see what it's like and see how it works out, if at all. So I do that. I'm also keeping tabs on Hitbox too. I might even do like Hitbox stuff too, depending on how I perceive YouTube and if it's too frustrating or not. I've heard that the chat on YouTube is pretty darn bad as far as not having too many features in it, but I want to try it out. Like I said, nothing personal against Twitch, but unless you're a partner, Twitch really sucks. When you're a partner, Twitch is awesome. When you're not a partner, it really sucks. So I'm hoping to potentially improve that experience a little bit for everybody, including myself. So the series that are going on, we've got Dishonored is continuing, and it will continue for the foreseeable future. The version of Dishonored that I bought actually came with a bunch of DLC, so I will be, after I finish the main storyline, I will continue with the DLC that I have on there, so that series will continue for a while. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, I'm a little bit ahead as far as the recording goes, which is very awesome. Trying to stay ahead of the recordings and stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute. So that will continue. When that finishes, which I'm about, as far as recording goes, I'm about halfway through the game now. When that finishes, I will be replacing that with Driver San Francisco. I decided on a whim to go buy it. It's not exactly a blind playthrough, because I did watch all of Kurt J. Mack's series on Driver San Francisco, but it was such a long time ago that I watched that even though I can remember some parts of the plot, I can't remember all the individual pieces of how everything fit together. So it is kind of like doing it a blind playthrough, because I can't remember any of it. But I wanted to get another racing game on the channel. I've been looking at possibly, I still have Need for Speed Rivals on my Xbox One. I have not been on the Xbox One in a couple months, actually. I've been trying to hold off doing anything with the Xbox One until I figure out if I can get this Elgato HD stuff to work, because I would like to record that at 60 FPS, since that gives me the option of doing that. So that's why I've been holding off with anything related to that, including, possibly going back to Destiny and trying to actually see if Destiny works for me now, because there's been a lot of changes to it, and from what I understand, the netcode is a little bit better than it used to be, so maybe it'll actually work for me now, because that would be kind of awesome. Work for me on wireless, because I don't have the ability to plug it in. It's a little bit too far away. So we'll see what happens with that. That covers the Xbox One. I haven't done anything else with it since that. Other series going on. So the Spatials will continue for quite some time. I want to try to do almost a complete run of the Spatials. So I'm going to go, to level 30, obviously, but then I also want to sort of, I would like to, if at all possible, get all the WTF Mo stuff done, possibly. But there's going to be a lot of off-screen stuff that I do, so I'm not entirely sure about that one yet, because I am kind of winding down on it. There's not a whole lot more for me to do, because I've unlocked the entire tech tree, and I'm almost out of space in my space station, so I want to still be able to make interesting videos, but at the same time, I don't want to drag it out longer than it really should be, because then I start to burn myself out, right? So we'll see how much more time we have left on the Spatials, but I will keep playing it until I feel like I've hit the end, whatever that end, quote unquote, would be or should be, as far as my playthrough is concerned. But still enjoying that game very much. Love that game. It's, I wish there were even more like that out there that I could play. In addition to that, the final episode of Oceanhorn just went up today, Tuesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday. That game is done. It's in the hat. It's in the bag. Replacing that now in its slot will be Dex, a game that I talked about a little bit on one of the Cube Rambling episodes. It's a 2D cyberpunk RPG that's a platformer RPG. So I've got a few episodes of that recorded, having a little bit of fun with that. So that will be the thing going up on the channel for those parts. And then also, speaking of additional things going up, Game of Thrones episode 4 was just released today. So I will be playing through that at some point. I may not get to it today to record, but I will be playing through that, and I will be handling it the same way I've handled it before in the past, which is I'm going to record all the way through the 2-hour episode, because they're usually about 2 hours. And then I will edit and render the whole thing in pieces, usually about four videos usually, and then put them all up one after the other, back to back, on back-to-back days. So it'll be 4 days of that, usually roughly 4 days of it. But not in any rush to do that, because obviously we still have Westerado going up every single day, so I'll probably record it sometime this week, but then I might not actually put it up until next week, just so I don't have 4 videos a day going up, because I think that's a bit much. It's not too much for me, generally speaking, but it is a lot to sort of absorb. And even three videos a day tends to be a little bit rough. But it's, as long as I keep the variety up, should be pretty good with them, I think. In addition to that, looking at some games to do side quests on. As always, I have a few that are potential candidates for side quests. I know it's been a while since the last one. I think it's been a month since the last one that I did. I would like to do that more often than just once a month, but like I said, it's hard for me to find ones that are at a state where they feel complete enough that I can show some off. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I'll say, I just kickstarted a game called Power Drive 2000, which is a driving game, as you might imagine, with like a retro art style to it. And they have a very pre-alpha demo of it available, and it's just literally one track, and it lasts for about 4 minutes, and then that's it, and then the game just ends. So it's like, well, I could do a 4-minute video, or I could just wait until there's more to show off, and that's really the state of a lot of things, a lot of indie games, where I'm just like, you know what, I should probably wait before I show this off some more, because there needs to be more to it, a little bit more meat to it. I would like to at some point have some sort of series where I'm like, you know what, here's demoware stuff. Here's the pre-demos and stuff, and just take a look at them and see if they're in your wheelhouse or not. Where maybe I would take like 2 or 3 demos at once and just put them all into one video. I probably could do that if I found enough demos out there to do it with. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. So that's there are a few candidates this month that I could do for side quest videos. I would like very much to be able to sit down and record them. I just have to carve out the time for it with everything else going on, because I have all these other running series going on, and I've got them planned out pretty well as far as recording goes. In fact, I'm doing better with scheduling recording now than I've ever really done since starting the channel. But that said, I have a very full plate as far as recording goes, and I always fall into this trap where I bite off too many things and then have to figure out what to do with it. But hopefully I'll be able to ease those in or squeeze those in somewhere into the schedule, so that you can see what I've been looking at. Speaking of squeezing things into the schedule, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 has caused me to do something that I've been procrastinating for over a year, and that is I've started to get together a list of parts to build a new PC. Finally. I haven't put down the money for it yet. My wallet is screaming a bit at the moment, but running away in fear, if you will. But I have gotten as far as putting a list together, which is a pretty big leap for me since I've been procrastinating for the most part. And it's all due to the fact that I can play The Witcher 3, but it will be in very low resolution, low textures, low graphic settings, I should say. Not low resolution, but low graphic settings. So what I'm probably going to do is, I'm probably going to record some. I haven't done any yet, but I'm probably going to record some probably this week, hopefully. And it's going to be in whatever settings I can do, which is going to be the low settings. And then, since I think the game is going to take many, many, many hours to do, I've heard upwards of like 200 hours or so, and I love to do side quests. So because of that, I figure I'm okay starting the game now in low res, and then just when I get the new PC in, I'll just upgrade. I'll just start recording on the new PC, and then suddenly the graphics will be a lot nicer to look at. Things will be a lot nicer to look at. So that's my thought on the matter. I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, I know it's kind of sucks to go on YouTube and see something that's horribly low graphic settings, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Given how long that series is probably going to be. It's going to be a long one from what I can tell. I'm also going to institute some new policies for myself as far as recording goes. First of all, whenever I'm recording a story-based game like Dishonored or The Witcher 3, I'm not going to do it for any of the ones that I've already started. Like Dishonored, I'm not going to do it for. But when I'm recording things like The Witcher 3 or any other story-based games, I'm going to stop doing my sign-offs after half an hour to an hour, whatever it might be. While I really like doing those sign-offs because I feel like I like to thank you guys for watching stuff. It does sort of hamper me a little bit when I'm editing because I can't sort of edit things to make them dramatic, or I have to sort of work around how I'm editing things, or you'll see a lot of inconsistency about the length of my videos because I can't, I sign off at different points because I like to make sure I got something accomplished, and sometimes getting something accomplished is not, I'm not sure how much time I've taken up because maybe I failed a few times at something. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to play it through, do whatever length session I'm going to do, and then when I go to edit, I'll edit it into the chunks that I think are appropriate for what's on screen, and that gives me a little bit more flexibility in what I'm doing, because I really like that with Wolfenstein: A New Order. When I did that, I didn't have any sign-offs. I just did my thing. So that's what I'm probably going to do going forward with new games that are story-based. I'll probably be doing that more. Less sign-offs, more just, like what I'm doing with Westorado here, where it's if you watch the end of the episodes, I don't actually sign off. I just go to the end slate with the music. I think that's fine. I think that works well as a bookend. And then for sandbox games and stuff like that, where there's a logical or real-time strategy games, I will still do my sign-off, because that's pretty easy to do, because there's not a whole lot going on usually on the screen at the time. So that's one policy. The other policy I'm going to install for myself when it comes to recording is I'm going to try to record at least 2 weeks of stuff before I begin releasing the episodes. So what that means is, and I did this with Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, and it's working out really well. So what I did was, instead of recording 2 episodes and then releasing it immediately that weekend, I waited a weekend and recorded 2 more episodes the next week, and then that way I was ahead of the game, and I've been ahead since then. And I feel like that's much easier on me, because if time constraints do cause me to miss something, you'll still get videos, and I can just make up for it as time goes on. So I'm going to do that going forward as well. I tried on my little vacation here, my long weekend, I tried to get ahead of some things, and I am a little bit ahead. I do have a little bit of a backlog, but not as much as I really want it. I wanted to get ahead on, like, City Skylines. I wanted to get ahead on spatials and things like that, but I haven't been able to do that. So hopefully I'll be able to make that happen soon, because I think that'll mean more consistency for me, for you guys. There won't be like weeks where I miss, say, Void Expanse, for instance, possibly things like that. So that's what I'm trying. It's just another behind the scenes little, how the sausage is made, if you will. Some information with that. And of course, City Skylines is going to continue. And Chroma Squad is going to continue. Having a lot of fun with those. Playing those all the way through, I will be doing. As far as side quests go, some of the games I've been looking at, I've been trying to see if I can maybe record Lemma, Embersoul Mercenaries, possibly. There was another one on Steam that I was learning how to play. It's actually very hard, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was a very, very hard game. So I was having some problems with it, which is why I didn't record it yet. I think I might try to go back to Memory of Eldarim, which is something I mentioned a long, long time ago, and they actually have been still working on that game. And that was one of those games that I couldn't actually record because for some reason I have problems recording Crytek 4 engine games sometimes. But I think I might have fixed the problems that I was having. So I'm going to try and go back and see if I can record that, and hopefully record at a decent frame rate. So that's what I'm going to take a look at and see if that works out. Also, a game that I've been keeping tabs on for over a year is called Blockscape. It's basically Minecraft, but with different shapes besides just blocks per se. I would have recorded that a while ago, except I had a lot of problems with the UI on it, and I haven't gone back to it yet, so I don't know if it's still the same or not, but very hard, like where it's very easy to place blocks in Minecraft and be symmetrical and all those other things. This game is very difficult just to do those basic things. It's like you trying to get things to look even, trying to dig into the ground. It was all like very finicky. And I don't know if that's changed or not since then. So whether or not that has changed will determine whether or not I actually do a video on it. Because if I get too frustrated with the interface, then it's not going to be a very good video. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I think that about covers everything that I had on my list here. So I just want to say thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging around on the channel. I am continuing forward. Everything is going well. E3 is coming up. What is it? June 16th, I believe, and I'm expecting lots of information to come out then, including information from YouTube and Google, because I think they're planning some things, and I don't know what impact those things will have on my channel. Planning different things around monetization. Don't know what it's going to entail yet, so I'm just kind of keeping my ear to the ground and hoping for the best, because I really don't have any plans yet to monetize anything. I really I still see this as a hobby, and I don't really see any need yet to do that, but depending on how they change things depends on whether or not my attitude on that's going to change. We'll see. I'm just keeping an open mind right now. And I've also brought you up to speed with the live streaming stuff. I would like to do a little bit more live streaming. It's very difficult to promise anything because, again, I have so many series on YouTube going on, and YouTube is really my primary thing right now, the primary driver of the content that I'm doing. So all those are things. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.